Support for The Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport, connecting Central Illinois to the world with daily flights on Delta Airlines to Atlanta. Close, convenient, CIRA. More at CIRA.com.
Normal city leaders consider tax increases to fund the long-delayed Uptown Underpass project. That's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Friday, October 31st. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with the annual school report card for Bloomington Normal's public schools. WGLT's Eric Stock reports.
The Illinois State Board of Education revised its criteria this year to better reflect student performance. The changes, as expected, improved scores across the board. Unit 5 and District 87 both saw double-digit gains in student achievement. District 87 Superintendent David Mauser says he's pleased with the gains, but believes the system is still flawed.
This is a one-shot, one-day test that we took last spring that we just now get the results on. That doesn't help us at all in terms of trying to figure out what's best for kids and how we can improve.
Fewer Bloomington Normal schools rank among the top 10% in the state, those considered exemplary, while 6 schools had at least one student group fall short of benchmarks. That leads to a targeted designation. 3 of those in Unit 5 were for students with disabilities falling behind. Superintendent Kristen Weichel says the district plans to take a deeper dive into the data to see where help is needed.
When it comes to students with disabilities, we really have to kind of drill down and see, are we talking about students with learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, social emotional disabilities and challenges, and then put a plan in to best support them.
Unit 5's graduation rate is about the state average, while District 87's is well below it at 77%. Superintendent David Mauser says low graduation is linked to chronic absenteeism. It's at 27% district-wide. With reporting from WGLT correspondent Michelle Steinbacher, I'm Eric Stock.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. McLean County government has offered an olive branch in its dispute over shared sales tax money from Bloomington and Normal. County Administrator Cassie Taylor proposes an 18-month pause, not a cancellation of remitting that money. Governor J.B. Pritzker is asking federal agents to take a break this Halloween weekend so they don't traumatize more kids. Pritzker called ICE activity in Chicago's Old Irving Park neighborhood during a children's costume parade unconscionable. And meanwhile, Pritzker says there's only so much the state can do to mitigate harm when SNAP food benefits are cut off this Saturday. The governor has signed an executive order releasing $20 million to support food banks statewide. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. To get the decade-old Uptown Underpass project over the finish line in Normal will require increases in food and beverage and hotel-motel taxes. That staff recommendation emerged at a special town council meeting this week. WGLT's Charlie Schlenker reports on that council work session.
The start of construction on the Uptown Underpass has been deferred now for nearly a year after bids came back significantly higher than expected. Since then, staff have tried to trim the project. That value engineering cut estimated construction costs by several $1 million. Public Works and Engineering Director Ryan Otto says they cut back on shrubs and plantings but preserved trees to prevent program spaces on either side of the underpass from being sunbaked.
That was an important aspect of our design, is that it was very functional, very welcoming to people as they come and experience this South Plaza.
Otto says no structural elements will be changed in the tunnel proper.
We don't want it to feel constricted or congested with both pedestrians and bicyclists as they utilize it for traversing underneath the tracks, so it'll be well lit.
Other cuts to the project included a smaller footprint on the South Plaza and eliminating one tier of seating in the Southside Amphitheater and replacing it with grass. There will be one less stairway as well. The town eliminated controllable multicolor lighting. Glass railings on the north side walkway will become metal only. Exterior stone will be replaced with cast concrete in the same buff color as used in Uptown Circle. The town estimates the total project cost at $40.3 million after all design work, studies, and utility relocation are done. The town share would rise to roughly $14.9 million. Town Finance Director Andrew Hune says that's $12 million more than originally estimated.
We have, on occasion, solved problems with additional cash in projects. However, a $12 million gap is not solvable in terms of our cash position for the town.
The town has proposed a $12 million bond issue to finance the additional cost over the next quarter century. Hune says the estimated annual payment on those bonds is roughly $875,000. Staff proposed new revenue to fund that debt by increasing the food and beverage tax from 2 to 2.5%. The hotel-motel tax would rise from 6 to 8%. Here's City Manager Pam Reese.
We know this is a big project with a big ask, and I don't take that lightly. And the project team does not take that lightly.
Staff say most comparable communities in central Illinois would have slightly lower food and beverage and hotel-motel taxes than normal. City Manager Pam Reese says she believes the project will be transformational. Reese quotes the town's 2040 plan, in which community members articulate a case not for creating a community identity, but building on the existing identity through programming and urban design.
The town's role as a steward of public spaces allows it to have a palpable impact on our sense of place. Public spaces are where that sense is often strongest, because public spaces are used by everyone together.
The plan says the best public spaces convey a sense of being rooted in a certain community and none other. And Mayor Chris Coos says such places in Normal did not happen by accident.
You don't just live in great places. You work to make great places. And when you go to a community and you go, wow, what's going on here? It's because people did some heavy lifting, made some very tough choices, financial and otherwise, to make that place the unique place that you identify as a wonderful place.
Councilmember Karen Smith notes the revenue to make debt payments for the underpass would not come from a tax increment financing district or from the general fund, the other ways in which debt is usually accounted for.
Since we're earmarking a specific tax for this specific project, what would it do if we were to sunset the tax increase to coincide with retiring the debt for this underpass project?
Finance Director Andrew Hune says the council could consider that option. The proposal will go to the council in November. That's also the estimated start of the 18-month construction period. I'm Charlie Schlenker.
And before we let you go, a reminder that the official Halloween trick-or-treating hours in Bloomington and Normal is 5 to 8 o'clock tonight. And that is it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. You can subscribe to The Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.